It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel alright. You know I work all day.
Okay, I would understand if it were like a Michael Bay figure. I mean, like Michael Bay, he understands that he's just having a CGI fest and he's just not the biggest artist out there. But M. Night Shyamalan legitimately thinks he's a genius. He legitimately thinks that people just didn't appreciate his vision. And that to me is like depressing. Like, how are you that delusional into yourself? I mean, the guy's a dipshit.
If you're like, what's his name? Quentin Tarantino, and we know he thinks a lot higher of himself.
Quentin Tarantino
has
is like
talent.
the Kanye West of movie directors. He's a fucking conceited bastard, but he is talented as shit, and he knows it.
He's
M. Night
also like Muhammad Ali.
M. Night Shyamalan is like every other rapper that talks about how awesome they are when they really aren't.
But he had such
M. Night
promise.
Shyamalan is memes.
He had such promise when he started.
Yeah.
Even Signs wasn't that bad.
So he's basically he's like Snoop Dogg then. I don't know. Somebody that started off okay.
50 Cent.
No, man, Snoop Dogg's awesome.
50 Cent started out. We were all tuned in the club. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. We were all tuned in the club.
One hit.
Snoop Dogg was awesome. He built up this great reputation. We all enjoyed it. We still like his stuff from the 90s. And
then he did a song with the Pussycat Dolls.
You know what? That's not even the big deal for me. I realized that he had lost all of his street cred when I saw the music video for California Girls. He's walking out leading an army of gummy bears.
Really? Because that's when I gained respect for him, actually.
Now I really feel like he is at the Shyamalan.
So M. Night Shyamalan is the Snoop Dogg of the movie community then.
You always mourn when artists die young, or when they die at their peak, or just when an artist dies. When they're still making good music, period. Or we mourn Whitney Houston when she's 20 years past her prime. But why do we always say, oh, what if they were still around? But history has continuously shown us that artists, even like the great ones, they like look at the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones made some really iconic
I don't know,
songs.
Snoop Dogg?
We know
What if he had
that
gotten killed during one of those 90s?
We'd be like, man, what if Snoop Dogg was still around today? He wouldn't be making videos with gummy bears or something. Nah, man, Snoop Dogg kept it real. Rest in peace, Snoop. No, that wouldn't happen.
Eventually Tupac and Biggie would have ended up where the Rolling Stones are now, in the bargain bin at a Walmart, selling for $5. They'd be booking, club, like.
Yeah, it's rare for an artist to be able to keep that level of popularity for that whole period of time.
Like, what if Imagine was the
I'm
best?
pretty sure Biggie would have died of a heart attack before he went downhill. Anyway, let's be real here.
But we know Biggie and Tupac would be in the bargain bin, and same with Nirvana. Nirvana would be in the bargain bin.
Definitely in the bargain bin.
What's their names? John Lennon and Paul McCartney would have seen the dollar signs. They would have put the Beatles back together. Fuck whatever.
30th reunion tour, or 30-year anniversary tour.
And their stuff would be in the bargain bin. It's impossible to say an artist can maintain that level of success for an extended period of time. We mourn their loss, and rightfully so. They were taken far before their time.
If you wanted to be smart about it, well, not even that, because but Michael Jackson, he had all this popular music. He made a really shitty album that nobody fucking cares about. Nobody.
Which one?
He came out when I was in middle school, but he just way past his prime. Nobody gave a shit about that. And then, what did he do? He's like, hey, people like all my old stuff, so I'm just going to keep performing that for them. And not make any more new music.
Keep performing Smooth Criminal, keep performing Thriller, keep performing
exactly.
Beat It. We like that stuff.
I've always wondered, like, people...
Invincible. That was Michael Jackson's last album.
You looked it up?
Yeah.
I completely just lost my favorite song. Oh, dude, Butterflies.
You rock my world. You rock my world, cry, and Butterflies.
Dude, Butterflies is actually pretty good.
died, but can you honestly, I think it's like Bill Maher said, how can a constantly anesthetized, drug addicted, noseless human, ghoul just leave us so young? No, we knew. It's like when Whitney Houston died, it was like, oh, Whitney Houston died. It took her this long?
Yeah, like that's a shame, but I mean, are we really surprised?
We're not surprised that he died. We're not surprised that anyone died. He wasn't relevant. I'm sorry to say this. The only thing that he had done relevant is molest a child.
I want to use Michael Jackson.
Like artists dying and stuff like that, though. Though I do, I wasn't a fan of Whitney Houston. I find to listen to her music or anything like that.
Her greatest song was somebody else's song.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But she was relevant in her time, and she was a great artist and whatever. It's still tragic that she died. So that's why it's so weird to me when people are like this one guy was like, oh yeah, guess who else died today? This astronaut that nobody's ever heard of. And nobody's talking about her death. I'm like, why the fuck would anybody be talking about her death? Like, nobody knew who she was.
Like Buzz Aldrin died.
I understand. Yeah, nobody personally knows Whitney Houston, but we did know that she was a very successful artist at one point, and despite the fact that she kind of fell from grace, it's still tragic that she died. You don't have to post up and be like, hey, this astronaut lady died. Nobody's paying attention.
Is there anything sadder than being like a death hipster? I can't think of anything sadder.